Welcome back to Green Devils, Ireland's newest Manchester United fan channel. And thankfully, we're finally here. The international break is over, and Rúben Amorim's first game in charge is right around the corner. But before we look ahead to the game, I just want to go kind of look back over some of the quotes from Rúben Amorim's first press conference during the week. And obviously the interview with Gary Neville. Just kind of touch briefly on it. Obviously, haven't got a chance to talk about it yet since they happened. So I just kind of want to briefly just kind of touch on some points and just kind of give you my thoughts on it. Obviously, we'd start with the press conference, and look, he just briefly talked about the size of the club. It's bigger than it's bigger than he imagined. He really feels it's a global club, but he feels happy, he feels comfortable, and he feels at home. And then obviously he was asked about what gives him the faith to that he can be the one to restore the club to the level that it is. Like, he's the sixth permanent manager since United last won the title, and he just said, I'm a little bit of a dreamer, and I believe in myself. I also believe in the club, and I believe in the players. I want to try new things, and you guys think it is not possible. I think it is possible, and we will see in the end. And I think the key point across all the stuff he's done so far since he was announced as the manager is he's very, very well spoken. He absolutely 100% believes in his own ability, and he believes that he's the right man for the job. And he mentions that at one stage when asked again about United being the impossible job. He kind of touched on the fact that he doesn't believe that it is, and that he truly believes that he's the right man at the right time for United to bring him back. And in my own opinion, it's hard not to get excited about this. I've said it I think I might have said it after his first interview when we reacted to that, and I know I've said it online, and I've said it on some of the socials and in some of the group chats that I'm in. I think this is the most excited I've been about a manager coming in since Sir Alex Ferguson left. Obviously, look, you were obviously excited about Mourinho coming in, and obviously excited about Ten Hag coming in, but I don't know what it is. There's something about him. I don't want to use the word aura, but there's just this something around him that it just draws you in. You believe every single word he says. Like, obviously, look, he believes it himself, and the proof is in the pudding. He's won things at Sporting, and he's adamant as well coming in that he knows the style and the system that he wants to play, and he's going to do that. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But he does, and everyone keeps kind of harping on about the 3-4-3 system that he's going to play, and he says it himself. In his opinion, it doesn't matter whether you set up a 3 at the back, 4 at the back, 5 at the back. The principles of football are the same. The build-up of your system, your defending, your defensive responsibilities, the basics of football are all the same. So it doesn't really matter if you line up with 3, 4, or 5 at the back. And obviously, look, that system will change and develop throughout the games as the game themselves develop. If we go in front, we're likely to change probably to a more defensive 5-3-2 or 5-2-1, or do you know what I mean? It's just there's so many different elements to his system, but it genuinely is hard not to get excited about watching United again under Amorim. He just brings something. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, and I don't like I said, I don't want to use the word aura, but there's just something around him that draws you in. Like, he's very well spoken. He's a great communicator. You can just tell that he loves what he does, and he everything he does, he has a massive smile on his face, and you can't help but get drawn into it and be excited about what's to come. Um, but yeah, and I think he reiterated again as well. They're talking about, like, obviously, look, United, we need to win, we need to get back, but he keeps saying about we need to be winning games. He will get time if he wins games. You win games, you win time, and I think that's one of the key points from most of the interviews that he's done so far. Um, it's all about you gain the trust of the fans, you gain the trust of the board, you gain the trust of the players. If what you're doing is working on the pitch and you're getting the results, the players will buy into it more. Now, obviously, look, the players have to buy into that as well. And he was kind of obviously asked about that what does he make of the squad so far? And he said, like, he believes in the players, and he said he knows the media don't agree with that, but he believes it. And look, you have to take him at his word, and you kind of do get that sense that he fully believes in the players that are in that squad, that they can do the job that he's going to ask them to do. Now, it's probably going to be tougher for certain players over others. But I mean, look, they're all professional footballers. A lot of them are young enough that they should be able to adapt to a certain style of play depending on what the manager's looking for. And as he said himself, the basics and the principles of football are the same no matter what style or system you're playing. So, look, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see. And, like, look, he was asked as well about the game on Sunday, about the team and stuff, but he basically just kind of touched on it. He said that you will see his style and his system. So that, to me, that's going to look like the 3-4-3 or the 3-4-2-1 system that he likes to play. But he said when you look at the starting lineup, you're not going to see a drastic change in the terms of the players that are playing. But as soon as they step on the pitch and the game starts, you'll see a completely different system to what those players were playing last season. Excuse me, and to a lesser extent, the start of the season under Ten Hag. So, look, I mean, in terms of that, going with the starting lineup, going with his system. Obviously, it's going to be Onana in goal. Then I think he's going to do with a back three. And I think Yoro's going to start. He'll start as the right centre back, De Ligt as the centre, and then Martinez as the left centre back. Then in terms of your midfield, I think you're going to have Delo and Mazraoui as your wing backs, and your two midfielders are going to be Casemiro and Ugarte. As he said himself, it's not going to be too different. Then in terms of the forwards, I think the 2 10s, if we're gonna go with that formation, that 3-4-2-1, I think it's going to be Bruno and Rashford as those 2 10s, and then Highland being the number 9 up front. Now, look, it's a complete guessing game at this point. No one really knows what to expect. Like, obviously, everything at this stage is just speculation that he's going to employ the exact same system that he employed at Sporting 2 weeks ago, and he's going to use the same players to implement that system. Yes, he could, but it's just a complete guessing game. That's my thoughts on what way he'll line up. But in terms of the game itself, like, I mean, it's Ipswich aren't going to be a walkover. It's going to be a tough place to go, Portman Road. I hope I hope we see a new manager bounce. We kind of saw it in some of the clips of training. Um, a lot of the players seem to be buying into it, and they seem to want to be able to want to play his system. So I hope we see that new manager bounce and the players putting in the effort to show the manager that they can be a part of his system and be a part of his future at United. So I think in terms of the score, I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory for United. I definitely think we'll get the win. I think it'll probably be tighter than a 3-1 scoreline suggests, but it'll be interesting to see how this all goes, because, like I said, it's a guessing game. Really, no one really knows what to expect from this, and I think that's kind of the exciting part of it as well. Is we don't know, but we know we're going to see something good. That's how I feel. I really feel like we're going to see something completely different to what we've seen in the last couple of years, and it'll be a positive change. So yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it. But obviously, it's kicking off at 6:30 on Sunday. Going to be doing a watch along on the channel. Obviously, look, it's his first game, so hopefully you'll join me for it. You'll get involved in the chat, and hopefully we get to see a United victory, and hopefully the beginning of a successful period for United again. Look, we're not expecting miracles overnight, but hopefully with his first game, we start to see, like he said himself, hopefully we see that idea of what he's trying to implement with the team, and we can start to see that system and that style and that identity that he's promising. But yeah, look, hopefully you'll join me for the watch along. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Give us your scoreline predictions, your lineups, and yeah, we'll chat to you Sunday when we kick off. We'll go live about 4:15. Kick off obviously is 4:30. So yeah, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll catch you later.
We've seen it all.